my teachers and all my dear friends present here on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti and Joy of Giving Week. Today, we are celebrating this occasion with great pride and reverence for the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So let us begin today's celebration with a soulful rendition to a prayer song to Gandhiji's heart.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम
Aditi, are we waiting for somebody, child?
Ma'am, the PPT is not there.
PPT is there.
Right, ma'am. Now it's
Yeah,
visible.
maybe your network issue. Fine, go on.
Yes. Throughout his life, Gandhiji was a fearless campaigner for the rights and dignity of all people and the promotion of non-violence through his thoughts and citations.
The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. My religion is based on truth and non-violence. Truth is my God. Non-violence is the means of realizing Him.
You must be the change you wish to see in the world. If we want to reach real peace in this world, We should start educating the children.
Now, a song by Simar Malhotra and an instrumental piece by Aditi Bansal will make you experience the aura of this great soul through a melodious presentation. We always have known Gandhiji in a stereotypical manner through our history books. Now, our most respected Amit Sir will enlighten us about a new perspective on the life of Gandhiji.
Thank you, my child. Respected principal sir, in charges, dear colleagues, and children. Even a decade would be less to describe Mahatma Gandhi and his deeds, but I'll try to touch some of his untouched portions and augments that he had lived through. We all know about some things like non-violence, satyagraha. But what is the meaning of this? Satyagraha is fighting for truth, and truth is something that is inside a person which cannot be defeated. But these things we all know, you all be knowing, non-violence and satyagraha. When Gandhiji came to India, the Congress people, as a freedom fighter I'm talking about, the Congress people used to have meeting in a closed room over few cups of coffee and discussed about the plights of the Indians. How could few educated Indians in a closed room in Calcutta, Mumbai, or Madras make a decision over 6 lakh villages and millions of farmers? So Gandhi was the first person, Mahatma Gandhi was the first person in the history of India who we call the leader of the masses. He brought the entire India together into the freedom struggle. Now, he was a very, very staunch vegetarianism. He gave very much importance to vegetarianism and fought for animal rights. Like we have animal rights organizations today, we owe that to Mahatma Gandhi. A staunch believer in the power of women, entire humankind, and he denounced the term Shudras and gave them a new term, Harijans. Harijans means the children of God. So he worked for the upliftment of all the downtrodden classes. Now, children, something very close to you. You might be undergoing work experience classes in your school, right? In our school, work experience or socially useful productive work, SUPW. In some schools, it is called. When I was in school, it was called SUPW. This is also a brainchild of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was the first person to give this education scheme called Nai Talim, or basic education, that wanted to incorporate skills with education. And we all know what is the importance of skills today in our world. Even our Prime Minister, today's Prime Minister, current Prime Minister, Make in India project, that is also based on the trust of Mahatma Gandhi. Then he talks about Swaraj. Swaraj, what is Swaraj? Swaraj is self-rule. Self-rule means Indians will rule India. To go into depth, self-rule means every person should rule him or herself. Because there's a conscience in everybody. We know what is right, what is wrong, and it tells us, but we just don't ear it. We don't just give no ears to it. And that was what Mahatma Gandhi meant. If you listen to your conscience, you can never go wrong. Now, he was a very staunch and a great economist as well. His charkha, giving employment to the people who left their jobs during the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement. And he started a new system. We have heard about capitalism. We have heard about socialism. He gave a new system called Sarvodaya. Capitalism is benefit of few. Socialism is benefit of many. But Sarvodaya was benefit, welfare, and upliftment of all in the production sector. Now to end up, I'll call up 7, what Mahatma Gandhi calls 7 sins. 7 paap jo har insan karta hai. And these are, we should refrain from them. Wealth without work. Mehnat ke bina paisa kamana. Pleasure without conscience. Knowledge without character. Commerce and trade without morality. Science without humanity. Religion without sacrifice. And this sacrifice is considering all religions equal. My religion is spirituality. For me, there is only one God. You can name it in any way. And the same God that Mahatma Gandhi also believed in. And the 7th, last but not the least, politics without principles. There is so much to say Mahatma Gandhi, about Mahatma Gandhi, but I know the time is limited. And so this was a nutshell what I wanted to say. And sometime else, we will again meet and talk more about Mahatma Gandhi. So thank you. And हमारे राष्ट्रपिता को शत-शत नमन. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for enriching us. Thank you. Dan Utsav, also known as the Joy of Giving Week, is a week-long celebration that commences on Gandhi Jayanti, that is October 2, and ends on October 8. Sharing, giving, or dan is just not restricted to materialistic things. It can encompass care for nature and our surroundings by planting saplings, spreading and sharing our knowledge by donating books, or especially in this pandemic, by keeping the society safe and healthy by donating masks. As Bapu said, to find yourself, lose yourself into the service of others. Our school believes in the same, and every year indulges in the varied mindful activities of garnering the joy, sometimes through giving back to nature or sometimes to the society we live in. Now, Garima Rajpal, through her small piece of dance recital, is trying to reassure the same thought of service to mankind. I would now like to request our respected principal sir to say a few words as we are eagerly desirous for his insightful deliverance.
I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Respected Headmistress Ma'am, Mrs. Neelu Mittal, Mrs. Jyotsna Sharma, in charge Secondary Department, Mrs. Neelam Chawla, in charge Senior Secondary Department, Mrs. Usha Dhanda, in charge Primary Department, Mrs. Kavita Sareen, in charge Pre-Primary Department, learned members of staff, respected parents, and my dear students. A very good morning to each one of you for your soulful and mindful presence here in today's virtual assembly being conducted by the students of class 10B. I was very closely listening to what Amit sir was saying and what other programs, whatever you have presented. It was a wonderful thing. But suddenly something struck me and I wanted to talk to you about that. You know, like we have to understand the importance of the day. We know today is the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi and Lal Bahadur Shastri. And if you closely see their personality, in what ways do we recognize them? What were the traits in these people that we recognize them for? Ultimately, if you see, they were very simple people, very honest, down to earth, hardworking, and there were so many traits in them for which we remember them. Till this day, we knowing that the kind of dedication, the kind of integrity, the modesty, the humbleness, willpower, competence, tolerance, and great strength these people had, it has moved our life. It has changed our life like anything. We have learnt a lot from these people. So, without going much into their life, I think all of you must have been inspired because our tendency is to minutely go about as to who has done what and what were their contributions. We tend to criticize people, we tend to say things to people, we try to belittle people, but then there are larger things in life than what we perceive. Now, while listening to Amit sir, I was talking about, suddenly something struck me, and I thought I should be talking to you about those things, because if I talk about sincerely, virtue and what is morality, what is sin, there's a great debate on it. In a house where there are 4 people, they all have different standards of virtue and morality. And there are no clear-cut answers to what is a good virtue, what is a good morality, because morality, I tell you, is a big circus. I'll tell you, I'll try to explain everything, whatever I'm trying to convey across to you. Because to being moralistic, you are actually in pretension of spirituality. What should have naturally occurred to you, you are trying to act it out. Try to understand that. What do I mean? Because if you are like a flower which is blossoming fully and is having a fragrance of its own, that's wonderful. But if you are a plastic flower where the fragrance is being spread, it will go after some time. Maybe after 2 hours, maybe after 3 hours, it's gone. So morality is a big circus in the sense that with great difficulty, people are being moral. You have to tell everybody, do this, do that. This is wrong, this is right. So that's a big problem. We are actually following the principles of morality, or we are being virtuous because we are being told to do this, to do that, to not to do this, not to do that. And that's a big problem. Now, if you talk to me, how do you know that you're a good person? You think you're a good person because you're comparing yourself with others. You're judging others. Then only you know that you're a good person. The more good you think you are, that's the sign of madness actually. There lies a psychological problem with you, and that's the first problem in psychology, which says that yes, you're self-centered, you're thinking about yourself all the time. Nobody is okay except you. That's a big sign of madness. So being virtuous or being moral is not that important, and your integrity should be driven by your humanity and not by your morality, because morality is being twisted and turned over a period of generations and according to the whims and fancies of the people. What is virtuous for you may not be virtuous for somebody else. Whatever the principles of morality are may not be the same for another person. So the basic thing to understand and assimilate is to be in tune with life, so that you become life. Problem with us is that we become too much mind, too much emotions. We carry so many emotions. That's why we are not life. Remember that the content of your mind is not yours. Just see your mind. Our mind, if you see it closely, there are a crowd of people sitting there. My father, my mother, my sister, so many people around having one feeling for somebody, having some other feeling for somebody. So if there are a crowd of people there in your mind, there is no question of consciousness. You cannot be a conscious person if you are having too many things crowded in your mind. So the need of the hour is to shift from being a mental activity to life itself. Because you know you are a full-fledged life. You have to be in tune with life. Forget about morality, forget about virtuous things, because these things have been twisted and turned according to people's own wishes. What's most important is to be a little more human in your approach towards all life forms. Another thing that you need to understand is whether are you a life with mind or mind with little bit of life attached to it. You know, if you think, if you see things wrongly upside down, your life will be in mess. So all these things these great people have taught us, and we need to understand the larger goals of life as to who we are and why we are here. We are here for what is the purpose of life. So the need of the hour is to move from a compulsive state of activity to conscious state of activity. Why should people tell you to do this, to do that? That means you might do it for an hour, you might do it for 2 hours or maybe a day or two, and then you'll go back to your own ways. So you have to have that sense of mindfulness, heartfulness, and truthfulness, the strength of character. Everything has to be there in your mind, along with the peace of mind. You need to be in tune with life as well as understand as to what is good for you. You have to analyze. That sense of self-awareness has to come within. Unless you do that, nobody can make a change in your life. We think that our teachers or all the friends, father and mother, they will be making some difference to my life. No, they might tell you this is good, this is bad. They might tell you so many things. But then these things will not matter to you unless you look within. Because moment you try to change yourself, the challenge is we have to look within. We have to search for from within as to where we want to change ourselves. We always try to look outside for support, for all kind of guidance, counseling. The best part is to look within, to search from within as to what are the things that are lacking in me. So my advice to you people on this day, because this day holds a lot of importance, but a simple advice to you is to forget the morality, forget the virtuousness. Simply be in tune with life. Be the life you are. Creator has not done any mistake while creating you. You must understand that. Don't think that you are in any way less than any other person. You are the best. You must understand that. And when you are in tune with life, you understand what life is, you will naturally start taking care of yourself. Good care of yourself. So let's not be guided by morality and virtuousness all the time. Let us be the life that we are. And let us be guided by the principles of humanity, love and care, giving space to others, giving respect to elders. That's what will make you a good human being. Good human being does not mean that you will be pretending all the time that I am doing this and I am doing that. Just because my teachers have told me, just because my father has told me. You have to be a conscious person yourself. That's how you're going to improve. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have understood the meaning of what I have tried to convey across, and will try to change your ways by driving your principles, by being guided by humanity and not because of your morality, which is actually changing from person to person, is being twisted from person to person. So with this, I would like to conclude, and I wish you the best in life, wishing you all the best and expecting that you will become a better human being, assimilating all that, whatever I have tried to convey across in my own ways, in my own flamboyant ways. And I sincerely believe that each one of you are you are truly a good person, but you need to be in tune with your life. You need to be life itself and not be guided by morality and virtues only. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for a patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring us. Thank you. Now, I would like to request Ms. Jyotsna Sharma, our in charge ma'am, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Aditi. Respected Principal Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, Usha Ma'am, and Neelam Ma'am, my dear faculty members and students. Well, first of all, I think it was an absolute delight uh, that, watching today's program. The way you all have prepared it, it's beautifully presented. The portrayal of the day is absolutely relevant. And what is more essential here is to understand that it was hardly 2 days time which you got after the your exams got over and you prepared the entire assembly. Compiling all this, coordinating with people is not an easy task, especially when you're doing it online. I can understand what are the limitations and constraints you have, but definitely congratulations to the class teacher and the team. Kavita ma'am, she's always, her
Yeah.
relentless support to the team.
Yes.
And I'm also thankful to Amit sir. And literally, what I wanted, he has already enriched our knowledge with the kind of perspective he has given to Mahatma Gandhi, because we all are not very familiar or acquainted with the kind of person he actually was. We just look at the things written in the books, the NCRT books, and that's all. Very few people tend to read things beyond them. So, well, today also happens to be the International Day of the Elderly, and I believe that charity begins at home. So, let us all begin with uh, following the true meaning of the Dan Utsav, respecting our elderly, and the joy of giving. Definitely very well conveyed that joy of giving is not about the materialistic pleasures we seek in life. It can be related to emotions, your support, your friendship, and the kind of backup you give to people in life. So everything is actually the joy of giving if you want to find joy in its true sense. So I'm really thankful to all those who spared their time to attend today's morning assembly and created a beautiful aura, because it's your togetherness and your presence which helps us, you know,
Same.
further our efforts and keep us going. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I request all present here to stand up in honor of the national anthem.
Thank, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining the assembly. Thank you, to all my respected seniors for gracing the occasion. Thank you, Jyotsna ma'am. I don't know what to say to you. You were such a support to all of us. And Kavita, thank you so much, dear. You are amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you. And the children may continue with their classes and the teachers too. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.